It's not the start to a holiday anyone would want. These coach passengers have waited hours to get to the ferry terminal, and there's more waiting ahead after major delays led Dover Port to declare a critical incident with thousands of passengers stuck.
So we came down here and we were 3.5 hours waiting for the passengers to be cleared, and they send you across in 4 or 5 coaches at a time over to the main port. We were there, as I say, 3.5 hours, and then by the time we reached the port, we joined a queue, and 7 hours later, we'd moved about 3 inches. The port was teeming with children, getting off the coaches to go to the toilets. If you went into the toilet area, it was devastated. It was full of bodies. Nobody could get there. It was real harrowing.
There have been more coaches than the port anticipated for the start of the Easter break. Some had to be diverted to truck stops nearby to spend the night, with authorities saying delays are also down to hold-ups by the French border control. But that's of little comfort to a coachload of teenagers whose trip to a football tournament was cancelled because of the wait.
There's so much traffic in the area that they can't get people into the terminal itself. The staff here are being very friendly and helpful, but what they're telling us is that there is a real lack of French border staff trying to get people checked and into the terminal.
And while the port has been as busy as this before, since the UK left the EU, there are now additional checks.
The difference of being in a post-Brexit environment means that every passport needs to be checked before a vehicle or a passenger can cross into the European Union through France, and that happens here in Dover. So it does make processing more challenging.
Bad weather also played a part, the port says, but they are hopeful they can clear the backlog over the weekend. Once the coaches make it here inside the terminal, port authorities say that the wait is getting shorter and shorter, but these passengers have already endured many hours of discomfort stuck on board, and they're still hours away from their destination. For some, it will eat into precious holiday time, and while the port apologised, that may not be enough to make up for all the time lost. Milena Veselinovic, Sky News, Dover.